What's the word? What's the word, guys? It's your boy Lone Star T. And today, I'm going to do a reaction video. I'm going to react to my homie video. He's doing an album review. He was doing an old album review, let's say like Big L. So we're going to react to that. I already reacted to the video before on stream, but the quality was ass. So I'm going to re-react with you, but YouTube gets to see this version unlike the other one. So we're going to get let me get right into it.
What's good, y'all? It's the one and only Nappy Head Fred coming back to y'all with another album review. Okay, that was cringe. Let me
album
What's
review.
good, y'all? It's the one and only Nappy Head Fred coming back to y'all with another album review.
Look at the production behind this, man. You can just tell he put so much time in this, man. Hey, by the way, he's my in real life homie, so I went to high school with him and know that, you dig with him.
Of Big L, Lifestylez over the Poor and Dangerous. This is Big L's first studio album release March 28th, 1995 under Columbia Records. So, without any further ado, let's hop into this album review.
Hey yo, you better flee hops.
Go get your headphone 3 blocks. L keep rapping songs pumping like beatbox. Every year I get.
First
Yeah, come
song
on.
we got on
Put
this
it
album
on.
is Put It On. I think this was an amazing track to start off the album. The production is amazing and the lyricism is through the roof, but we'll be able to talk about it further within this video. I think starting off with the production, I like the creative sounds that he has around the production, just having different instruments and just high-end quality just sounds, especially from 1995, which was very surprising. But I think overall the beat type was very, very good. I feel like when it comes to the lyricism, though, he was able to flow through the track amazingly well. And even if we wanted to go with his flow was definitely untouchable. His lyricism, I mean, y'all already know it's literally through the roof. His rhyme schemes were
rhyme
amazing.
schemes, his punchlines. You gotta remember, the punchline.
Not a lot of bad things I could say about this song, honestly.
No,
I feel
really
like
bad
also
things,
it definitely has a very catchy hook that I feel like everybody can get a good, chant
Come on,
to,
Big L, put it on.
arena,
Come on, put it
especially
on
around
and
that
on
time.
and on.
But I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of quotable lyrics are within this song as well. So that's what makes this song very, very enjoyable. I could listen to this consistently, and like I said, for the first song on the album,
The introduction,
a very strong start.
Hey yo, spark up the Phillies and pass the stout. Make it quick, money grip, roll your asses out in the street.
Next song we got on here is MVP. I was a little iffy about this song when I had first listened to it due to like the sampling and the production in the background. But I've honestly grown to like it over time. I feel like the sampling is honestly really good, very iconic. If y'all heard the sampling, y'all hear it on Biggie's song, y'all hear it on
One More Chance.
Gosh, I can't think of her name at the moment, but I'll probably pop her up on my screen. She has a sample of it.
Her too.
And I feel like overall the beat type is definitely a lot different from the other samples that I've heard of this song. So I feel like he definitely based it on creativity and just made it a little more focused than maybe the other ones. But with all that being said, I feel like his flow was definitely on par with the production. I feel like he was able to just keep up with the pace. I feel like subject matters, he's definitely representing that he is the MVP of rap. And I feel like he said that in a strong message. A lot of rappers nowadays don't claim that they're the best rapper, but I feel like Big L was definitely claiming at that time, even with the Tupacs being out there, the Biggies, like the Nas's, like he was still saying, I am the best rapper.
And to his defense though, Fred, he was better than Jay-Z, way better than Jay-Z. Nas did not even want to freestyle with him and shit. I think if you even look it up, Nas wasn't even afraid to freestyle with him and shit too. So like his punch heavy style coupled with the world, like bruh, he is one of the best punchline rappers of this 90s generation, all that shit and stuff. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
Ever, basically.
But he's been underappreciated though.
I feel like
been
he
lost
had a
in
strong
time.
message with that. But also, I feel like his rhyme schemes were very, very dope too, very underrated, and I would honestly say this song in particular is very underrated if we're talking about the rest of the songs within the album. So definitely a dope song. It was a song that I maybe didn't like maybe a couple months ago, but I've grown to like even more because
at first I ain't like MVP as well, but
are like
I had to grow to love it too.
Definitely a dope.
I don't remember MVP as
Definitely a
much as I
dope
remember.
Let me get to the point real quick.
Or this song, I don't remember the.
Mad chicks be on the brother tip when you're sporting Jews and driving in the.
But I ain't like no ends,
here
no
is
skins
no
like
ends,
that.
no
I gotta
skins.
re-listen to it though.
I think this song definitely represents today. I am very impressed with his storytelling, and we're gonna get into it. First off, starting off with the production, it's not the best production I've heard. It's kind of like janky, which janky is fine in some aspects, but it wasn't
Give me
a good.
like 1 second. Now we back to the shit in hand.
Good enough janky to keep me engaged into the production. So overall, I would say the production is kind of mid because it's just not all the way there. But I think the best part about this song is obviously the storytelling. Now, when I said earlier this is kind of relatable to today's generation, he's basically saying if you ain't got no bread, then you ain't getting no head in a way. Like you ain't getting
no
fine
fellatio.
girls out here because that's what women want nowadays.
Most
now, I
women.
won't speak for every
not every woman, but
There's
that's most
that
women.
Don't care for that, but
It's
like
most of
most women really do.
And social media made it worse with that topic. It's a lot bad in this generation. Like before, I mean it was highlighted, but it wasn't as heavily highlighted as it is now. Like you see most women out here just care about the materialistic shit. It's insane now. But
I feel like he represented the storytelling in the most perfect way possible. I feel like, again, this is another one of those really underrated songs that I feel like people kind of skip over because maybe the production doesn't sound good, but the storytelling is so relatable that I feel like you have to pay attention because this came out in 1995, and the fact that this is still going on today, it's almost like he predicted the future. I'm not even going to lie. So overall, I would say a good song. It's not a song I would listen to often, but I feel like for storytelling purposes, it's definitely up there with one of the better storytelling songs I've heard in probably a long time.
Hey yo, folks who coming out broke the joke. You better submit before you get smoked. Them niggas be thinking this was a joke. Come on!
Next song we got on.
To get your chest met. Come on, stop playing with bro.
8 is enough. Hopefully I said that right.
Yeah, 8 is enough.
So weird.
Yeah, 8 is enough.
I think this song is definitely very, very underrated. Again, I don't know how many times I'm gonna say that within this video, but it's probably gonna be a lot. I feel like when we start off with the production, again, not the craziest production. I feel like the different instruments and the kind of drums add a little flavor to it, but the sound of the production isn't really nothing too crazy. It's more of kind of that darker,
eerie, little eerie track. It's one of those
but
eerie
I feel
tracks.
like once you get into the lyricism, his cadence on here is insane.
He said, "My name is Owen McGruff. I'm on some murder stuff."
Slow beat, but he was able
and
to
every talk,
keep
every
up
verb
with
is
the
rough.
At such a fast pace,
Every verse is rough.
Cadence, and it was just you can't really emulate that at all. So I was definitely impressed with his lyricism, his wordplay, his cadence, like I said, and the way he was just able to flow through the track with a slower production that I feel like not many artists can really do, especially nowadays. So
trust me, speaking from first experience, personal experience, yes, it's a lot hard.
Songs that I feel like people definitely need to go back to.
Once again, it's the big L.
That kid who got one props and killing corrupt cops who motherfucking buck shots. Come on.
Next song we got on here.
What do you say? It's St. Cali. Us Harlem niggas, we do walk-bys.
All Black. This song to me was very, very impressive, especially I'm probably going to repeat this so many times, but when we get into the storytelling, y'all know what I'm talking about.
It's going to get redundant, but you know why. It's him painting, is basically, imagine this album as a book. It's him basically painting this narrative how his lifestyle is well, the overall lifestyle that's around him is very dangerous, and how he's speaking from the poor. He's speaking from the poor and how it can be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? That's why it sounds so eerie, and that's why his storytelling is there. Like
So I feel like the production overall, I was a little more impressed because it had such an ongoing weird sound, but it fit within the scheme of what Big L was gonna explain within this song. I feel like the production definitely gives you that New York kind of sound, and it's very just like horrorcore kind of production, and you know, I feel like it makes sense on what he's about to say, which I'm about to tell y'all because I know some of y'all are probably anxious on what this song is about. So from a storytelling aspect, this is basically murder music. This is basically don't mess with Big L because he will mess with you and your family, and he described it in such a gruesome way that you're just like, wow, this dude is a murderer. But honestly, what rapper at that time didn't have music like this? So
or
I feel
eerie
like
music around
at the
that time.
time it's very common, but going back to it, it's like this music was definitely ahead of its time, and I feel like he described it in the best way by saying wearing all black. Like wearing all black to a funeral is very common, and you know, it just makes sense with the concept he was able to put up with. So I feel like, again, another really underrated song when it comes to the storytelling. Now, I won't say I listen to this song often because it isn't really that kind of song you put on repeat.
Yeah,
but
it's not.
like from a story,
If you want a song to where you need to hear, or you want a song where you need that aggressive, murder music type of shit, like old '90s type of music type of shit, like murder feel, eerie sound type of shit, I say this is fine to put this on your playlist type of shit. But it's not that type of song you listen to every day though. So I agree with that though.
Storytelling aspect, and from, I guess, if you're very psychotic, if you feel like you want to do something to somebody, maybe you could listen to this song. But overall, I would say a really good song, honestly.
I'm hitting 5 miles and stabbing brokes with broken wine bottles. Chunks of their heads.
Next song,
break him like. Damn, I ain't gonna say the line.
We got on here is Danger Zone.
Yeah.
Danger Zone is honestly another really good song that I feel like
a very
don't
eerie
get
song
enough
too.
attention with. I feel like when we get into the production definitely gives you that really thump of like, I don't know if it's a certain like guitar, I don't know what it's called.
What's it on the lyrics? It's a danger zone.
That you like.
What's on the
play
thing?
with,
Hold
like,
your own.
Your fingers, I don't know.
Yeah,
y'all do what you will at that. But overall, I feel like it brings that very dark horrorcore sound where it sounds like he's gonna talk about something very, very melodic and just not melodic, but like horrorcore, just kind of murder music again.
Yeah,
to
eerie.
the next level. I feel like his flow on here was
thing.
definitely really good as well. I enjoyed his cadence. Even on a slow beat, he was able to just have very slick lines in there, very just sick bars, and I was just like, dude, this man, I mean, is on another level. So I definitely enjoyed this song a lot. I mean, again, another underrated song.
As a young teen, you never know when you're gonna get wet. This mad clowns be catching wreck with a tech just to get a rep.
Next song we got on here is Street Struck. Street Struck, I think, is one of those songs where you really have to pay attention to the lyrics. Not to say throughout the whole album you don't.
You don't, yeah.
Within this song, I feel like the storytelling is very important. But when we talk about the production, I feel like the production is honestly pretty cool. I like the piano in the background. It had a really nice like sampling in the background that made it kind of very enjoyable in a way. And I will honestly say it is one of the more popular songs on the album. So you probably heard it at some point. But I do feel like from a storytelling aspect is where we want to get to. I feel like he sends some very important messages that I didn't think he would be able to sing because throughout the album he was talking about like murdering somebody
and killing and all that other shit.
Sending families to funeral homes and stuff
sending
like
people
that.
to the afterlife.
But I feel like with this song he definitely gave a good message of, you know, don't sell drugs, don't do this, don't do that. Find a path that will make you successful. And he honestly described a lot of guys, you know, having really good lyrics and bars that wind up still selling crack and, you know, cocaine and just not really focusing on the goal, and you know they wind up getting killed. So he's basically just giving a good message of don't do that kind of stuff. Find different ways to make money, find different ways to live. And I feel like overall that's an important message to just pay attention to. So I feel like messaging was very well, storytelling was very well. The funny part is I don't feel like his flow and stuff was crazy, but I feel like just a storytelling aspect, like I said, it's good for that reason. So definitely a great song.
They'll be lighting niggas like incense, getting men lynched and win
I gotta release the
infants for 10 cents, cause I'm a street genius.
Next song we got on here is The Graveyard. This song in particularly is such a it's such an overwhelming song that I was not expecting features at all, but I think I heard a couple Wu-Tang members.
Yeah, I gotta listen to the track because I don't remember who's featured.
I'm just not sure who's the features on this song exactly. Now, when we get into the production, it definitely gives you that New York grimy kind of sound with a siren in the background ongoing, which I think adds a really nice touch. So it gets you into what you're gonna be listening to pretty much. I feel like the lyricism from everybody was very well put together. It's just I don't know who the features were. I think I heard Jizza or Method Man at some point, but like I don't exactly know who could have featured on this particular song, but I'll find out at some point. But I feel like overall this song was honestly pretty good. I just wasn't expecting a feature overall. But I feel like everybody did their part very well and flowed through the track very well. So honestly, I'd say a pretty good song.
My name is L and I'm from a part of town
with clowns are beat down and all you hear is gunshot sounds.
Next song.
What he said, he said, don't come through when it gets dark, cause at night time, niggas try to tax. They sneaky the alley cats, that's why I carry gats. Yo, I'm a motherfucking fugitive. Buck wildin' style is the lifestyle that I choose to live. He said, conniving motherfucker, breaking in cribs with a crowbar. I wasn't poor, I was poor. I couldn't afford the OR. Oh my God. And he said, after that, he said, I used to wait till it gets dark and tell a nigga to strip. I want to see some birthmarks. Come on, man, come on. Think, Trey. What was the other shit he had in there too? He said, we stormed the city, shooting shit up like Frank Nitty. We robbed kids and split the dough 50-50. He said, I remember this guy on the dice game on the ad, but split the cash and I murdered his ass and took his half. Cause I'm all about ends and skins. When you got dough, you don't need no motherfucking friends. When I catch you on a late night, Jack, you getting stuffed, Jack. My mama told me to get a job. Fuck that. Hey, yo, picture me getting a job. Taking orders for cars. Selling corn on the cob. Now, how the hell I'm gonna make ends meet? Making about $120 a week. Man, I'd rather do another hit. I want clean clothes, mean hoes, and all that other shit. Come on, man.
We got on here.
Don't let me get started, man. Don't let me get started.
And Dangerous, self-titled. I don't hate this song necessarily.
It's too much recordables in this.
One of those songs that
I love this song.
Keeps me engaged as much.
I love this song.
I feel like the production is kind of on the lower end where you hear a couple thumps of the guitar or just.
But it was supposed to be eerie though.
Thing that I described was, I feel like the sound of the production isn't really nothing that crazy. Then when you get into the lyricism, I feel like his lyricism is still good. But I feel like his flow and his energy just isn't there, and he feels kind of.
Nah, man, you gotta, man. One of these days in your videos, if you react to this video, Fred, if you get to this point, man, you gotta start quoting the quotes, cause he has some quotes in this motherfucker. He was punching on this track too. I mean, every track he has punchlines in there. He had sneaky punchlines or punchlines to know, but he had punchlines on there, man.
Kind of sluggish on this song, if I'm being honest.
Nah, to me,
I
he
feel
did.
like if I had to think
But
of
it's
the
just
worst
describe
song on this album, it would
how
probably be
dangerous.
this. But it's not to a point where
His
it
area is.
ranks as one of the worst songs ever. It's just within
it's
this
not the worst
album. If I had to choose, it's not one of those songs I would necessarily skip. But I just feel like he needed a little more energy to make it more enthusiastic. Because I feel like the production was already very boring. So overall, I would say it's a mid song.
I like the production though.
It's not the worst mid song I've heard. I've heard a lot of worse mid songs, and I feel like this one is probably up there in terms of being more good than like bad.
There are too many MCs who are overrated. You asked me that wasn't even.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't yeah.
Supposed to make it in the rap.
Next song we got on here is I Don't Understand It. Another song that I feel like he just predicted the future. I don't know how he does it. This man's a one of a kind. Let me just say that. So when it comes to the production, I feel like the production is honestly cool. It got a little groove to it. I don't feel like it's nothing crazy. I feel like the beat type is cool. The sound of it is just kind of a moody kind of production. And I feel like it's just sounded with his lyrics overall. But when it comes to the lyrics, that's when we have to talk about like his predicting the future kind of thing. Because I feel like he definitely exposed a lot of like MCs back then where they had really good production, but their lyrics were very whack. And the reason why I say that predicts the future today, because there is a lot of that where the production is amazing, but the lyrics are not that great. Like, they're probably the worst lyrics you've ever heard. So I feel like even with the time being, even at that time, 1995, of him hearing like MCs like not have the best lyrics and have trash lyrics, I could only imagine he comes in this generation. I mean, he's gonna probably be sick to his stomach. But I feel like overall this is definitely a really good song. It's not a song I would listen to often, but from a storytelling aspect and for a future prediction, I just feel like it ages like fine wine.
That's the brother that's big, I'm not a little kid. I'm a nigga who don't dig a motherfucking pig. Cause to me, they ain't.
Next song we got on here is Fed Up with the
Bull-ish. Yeah, the Bull-ish.
I feel like this song was definitely really dope too, especially the production. I did enjoy the sampling and just the really good beat type to this song. So I would definitely say one of the better productions throughout the album. But I feel like his wordplay and lyricism was definitely really good. He wasn't like fast cadence with it, but I do feel like his flow matched the energy of the production overall. So I feel like I enjoyed that a lot. And I just feel like as a song in general, I feel like I can definitely listen to this more often than not, because it still sounds good till this day. And I feel like the production definitely ages very well. So definitely another underrated song within this album, and definitely needs to get paid attention to a little more.
I'm not the type to joke a lot, dressed in all black, never seen in polka dots. No other right rhymes like these.
He say, let him have it, L. Give him to him, L. Yeah.
The last song we have on this album is Let 'Em Have It, L. I thought this song was definitely an amazing ending to the album. Obviously representing.
He said before I reach out and touch you, but not with a telephone. Stop playing with bro.
Let 'Em Have It, L. Like, you know, I thought that was a really good concept and a really great hook in general. I feel like the production was definitely really good as well. It definitely had like more of a darker kind of murderous kind of sound, but it sounded really good, especially with the different sounds that you can get within the production. But I feel like his lyricism was definitely really dope. I feel like he was just freestyling at this point. He wasn't planning on writing nothing down. I just feel like he had a really nice flow. He was able to freestyle his way in there. And obviously, like I said, the hook was very catchy. Just having a whole anthem of Let 'Em Have It, L. I thought that was really dope. So overall, again, another I'm probably gonna say this a lot, but another underrated song in terms of just the wordplay. I feel like the production is honestly really good, and the hook is honestly very catchy. So definitely
Let him have it, L. Give it to him, L.
All right, y'all. It is time to break this album down in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 credentials that I feel like will rate the album in a way that is comfortable for me.
Okay, well, so tell me then,
the first one we got is production. I feel like the production overall was solid. I don't hate it that much. I just feel like there were certain production that kind of lacked a little bit of creativity, and then there was some production that approved creativity. But I feel like for a New York sound, especially in 1995, the quality couldn't have gotten any better than what he was getting. But I feel like Big L is a freestyler, so he could probably freestyle on any kind of production and just make it gold. And I feel like he was able to do that within this album. So as far as production, if I'm rating it 1 through 10, I would give it about a 6. Next one we got is features. Now, I didn't hear very many features within the album. I've only heard like a couple.
What was it? Irv McGruff and all those little guys from Eighth Is Enough. But I don't know. I think Cameron was on there too, actually. Funny enough, Cameron was on there on that feature too, so keep that in mind. But he had limited features. It was just him rapping the whole time. The whole majority of the album is him rapping. Maybe like 2 songs he had features on.
Well, specifically one feature on one particular song, which I mentioned was probably like the Wu-Tang. I feel like that feature was cool. Now, would I have added more features to this album? Not necessarily. I feel like he didn't need to, because his lyricism was just that good that he could have 3 verses that equals up to a feature. And, you know, I feel like he was good without it. So if I had to rate the features wise, I would probably rate the features like a good 8. Next, we got rap performance. I don't think I need to explain.
That's obviously a 10.
I'm just going to give this a 10 right off the rip. Rap performance was amazing when it comes to his flow, his cadence, his wordplay.
And his punchlines.
Everything as a whole, he pretty much just, he owned it. And that's pretty much the best part about this album is literally the rap performance. So yeah, I don't think I need to explain to y'all why the rap performance was that good. Next up we got is context. I feel like from a storytelling aspect, it definitely brought the context within the album. I feel like he was able to explain different scenarios where he learned how to just rob dudes and, you know, obviously make murder music, but honestly just make really good storytelling music as well. So I feel like context-wise, I definitely have to give it, honestly, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. I feel like context, he was on context with literally every song, so he never shaded away from it at all.
And then that's a good thing, actually, too, because the whole album was him just describing his lifestyle and describing the lifestyle, his lifestyle and his lifestyle around him, and describing how poor the conditions are and how dangerous this shit can be, you know, where he's at. That's what I'm saying. He never moved away from that, from the tone of the album. He never tried to make tracks to ease the tone. No. He stayed with the tone. He set the tone and stayed with the tone the whole entire album, which made the album this underground. I don't know if it's underground, but of course now it'll be underground, but it made it a fucking classic. Yeah.
Next one we got is creativity. This kind of equals up to the context, but I feel like creativity was definitely able to talk about different subjects at different times to match the production in general.
And he was able to stay on the tone of the album, though.
He just gave us a flavor of just everything that is New York, and I feel like he did that to the fullest, especially with his first studio album. So creativity, I would definitely give a good 10 out of 10 again. I don't know if that's like glazing, but I feel like his creativity was pretty good on here. If I wanted to base it off of creativity of production, then I would do that, but I'm just basing it off of just you know, the different sounds of him and just the different lyricism that he was able to give me. And last but not least, we got the album cover. Of course, this is probably the most appealing thing that you find within the album. I feel like the album cover's cool. He's obviously standing with his crew, and I don't know what street it is, but I know it got to be in New York. I feel like it's a pretty iconic album cover that I feel like somebody could replicate in the near future and just add a little flavor to it. In terms of like every other album cover, it's not like up there, but I feel like for the time being, it's a very iconic album cover.
It's iconic, yeah.
So
it's iconic
I would honestly
for
give
time.
it a good 6.
But for their time, it wasn't as iconic.
Yeah, a good 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree.
So, with all that being said, I'm giving this album a 9 out of 10. That will conclude today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all did, like, subscribe, and comment down below what other albums y'all want me to do. Also, click the link down in my description for all my social medias. But, yeah. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man.
Okay, then, pretty much, that's the end of the video. I liked how he basically described this album and what he thought about the production and everything like that. Hey, one of these times, you might see me in there doing quotables if it's an album that I already know about. But that will conclude the video. The link to the original video is down below, so you won't have to worry about that at all. All right, that's pretty much it.